Mikel, firstly, what are your emotions after that?
Well, first of all, you have to congratulate Man United for the victory. It happened in a really strange way, to be fair, because we were very dominant in the first half an hour, scored a goal, had another 2 brilliant chances to score, and then we gave them the goal, which is very unusual from our side, and that changed and shifted the momentum and the energy a little bit. After that, we dropped the standards, especially with things that we have to do much better with the ball, and the game wasn't in that much control. And then they had 2 magic moments. I mean, the 2 goals that they scored from Dorku and Cunha, credit to them, because in big games you need those moments. And we were carrying a little bit of that negativity a little bit, and the lack of fluidity that we needed. But we made the changes, we created some momentum, scored the 2-2, and you could feel game on. Everything changed immediately. The next action on is 1-against-1 in the 6-yard box. We expect, okay, something's we're gonna get from there. It goes to a goal kick, they close the structure, 1 long ball, 1 pass, and Cunha scores and changes again the momentum and the shift of the ball. So a really painful one. But it's now time to be very, very close to those players that are giving us so much joy, performances, and it's time to be very, very close to them and support them, because we all want to win.
So from 1-0, and as you say, control of the match, I don't think anyone would dispute that. Can you tell us in what areas the standards dropped?
Well, especially with the ball, with simple things. Every time we regain the ball, what we did with that ball after regaining it, certain clearances that stretch us on the pitch. And it's a team that the moment they have a space and the ball lands, especially to certain players, they are very dangerous, and we knew that. So yeah, we have to learn from it. Defeats are part of winning, and you have to take them like this, because they need to be reminded how good they are.
Is that almost your message to the supporters as much as anything? The players need you now.
I don't have to do that, because they know. We need them in any moment is when we don't win. After it's easy, but when we draw or when we don't win or lose a game, that's the moment that we have to show really the togetherness, the unity, the energy that we're going to put it to get where we want. And defeats are part of that for us and for any team.
Do you think from 1-0 it got tentative, it got nervous? Do you think it was the weight of what you're trying to achieve that affected maybe the atmosphere and certainly the performance?
I wouldn't use that word, because we played in Stamford Bridge in the semi-final. We were brilliant against Inter, one of the best teams in Europe. We were brilliant, but sometimes you don't have that day, and we don't have that day. We have to do the simple things much better than we've done today. And on top of that, when you look at the goals and the goal that Dorku scored from there, with that angle, someone chasing the top corner, because the only place he can put it, sometimes you have to give credit to the opponent as well.
Yeah, obviously we can, over my shoulder right now, you can see that second goal. Yeah. Handball?
I haven't looked at it. It's fine. It's gone, and we can do nothing about it.
Do you think how you react to this as a team, maybe even as a club, is going to define if you have the season you want to have and achieve what you want to achieve?
But we have to do what especially the players deserve, which is to be very close to them and remind them every day how good they are and how much joy we have in next to them. And that's exactly that. And I take responsibility for everything, and we move on, and in 3 days we have another game.
Is there anything, I mean, maybe you don't think they need this, but do you feel like they need freeing up, and is there anything you can do to help them with that, whether it's tactical or whether it's emotional?
I don't think so. I think they're free. 3 days ago, how free and fluent they looked in Milan, it was unbelievable. So no excuses. We accept the defeat, we congratulate the opponent, and we move forward.
Still top of the league.
Thank you.
As if he needed reminding, but the gap is down to 4 points. The reunion is complete, Patrick. We brought Gary Neville in from the cold as well.
You only comes in when United win.
I don't. I've come in to see them wellies.
That's a really interesting... there they are.
I'm not taking style tips from you guys. Draw the line there.
That's a really interesting question that Mikel Arteta's raised there, because he said it himself, that the team has been congratulated for their fluency in attack just a few days ago, beating one of the best teams in Italy, if not the best. And then we saw that today. Why? Why have we seen such a difference?
I think, like he mentioned it, I think you have to give a credit to United. I think they had a day where they didn't perform. Then you need to analyse the game and try to understand why.
But does it not come down to the approach, though, that is set from the start, Patrick?
I don't know if it's the approach. I don't know if the fact that they are in the top of the league and it's important for them not to lose the game, and maybe they stop playing the game to win the game. I felt that they are less aggressive going forward. There is a less energy in the team, and I think that is the change that I saw from Arsenal. But they're still top of the table. They still have 4 points clear. So it's important for them to stay calm, to stay composed, and to go back to basics. And go back to basics is like approaching the games, being on the field, and try to win games. Play to win the games. And you can lose games, but I think the disappointment today is that they didn't perform. They didn't play at the level that we all know they can do. So that is, I think, the frustration from myself, and I think from the manager as well.
Patrick said at half-time that Arsenal need to be braver in the second half, but I don't know if you would feel like that they have to be braver overall. Do you think that they're going to have to change the way they go about things if they are to get over the line, Gary?
I'm torn a little bit, because I think after the Liverpool game earlier on the season, I think I said that they needed to take the handbrake off, because I definitely thought that there were more attacking players on the bench that could have been used. But I think we ask for patterns and combinations, don't we, sometimes in teams? We ask... Arsenal gets levelled at Arsenal that they're predictable. But actually, it's what you actually want in the attacks from a good team. So you can almost, when City are playing really well under Pep Guardiola, or any team playing really well, you see repeat patterns and repeat combinations. So you see a lot of what they're going to... You know what Ødegaard's going to do, you know what Saka's going to do, you know what Trossard's going to do, which is a good thing in some ways. But also, if it doesn't go well, then you say it's predictable. And there's a bit of that with Arsenal. What I would say is the more instinctive players that they have, like Eze, Martinelli, Madueke, he's gone for the more positional players like Ødegaard, Trossard today, rather than those more instinctive players. And then when they've obviously gone 2-1 down, he's had to bring some of them on. But I would have liked to have seen Martinelli, Madueke and Eze come on all at once and just almost in some ways just go for it. When he made the substitutions, I just thought there was still a little bit of Mourinho coming on, a little bit of Ben White coming on, that I thought, could you just gone a little bit more and sort of just gone full on spontaneity and be a little bit less methodical?
People are starting to talk about the attacking numbers when it comes to Arsenal's forwards, all of whom are struggling to contribute what you would probably expect of a team that's chasing honours on 4 different fronts. Don't forget, Bukayo Saka not scored now in his last 13 in all competitions. Gyökeres without a non-penalty goal in his last 11 in the league. Martinelli not scored in his last 13 Premier League appearances. Madueke hasn't scored yet here. They
recycle it a lot, don't they? They get into position and then they recycle it quite a lot in terms of... That's the only thing I would say about them. When did they put the ball into the box? Nketiah did it for the goal, and that's the only time.
They're overthinking everything, isn't it?
But what do you think when you see that graphic?
Well, that doesn't look good. But there's also a case where you don't panic. Some of your attacking players will go through spells like that. But if you step back and reflect and go... At the start of the season, this is the manager's job over the next few days. And you can't... He's talking about the game during the week in the Champions League. Premiership is a lot different, obviously, the Champions League or whatever. Different competition, different mindset. They're top of the league in the Premiership. So that's the job, no players in the mindset. And these stats about players not scoring goals, but that can change quickly. Players, that's what happens. And obviously, they're very strong on set pieces. The big disappointment again, they've not turned up. They're giving up 3 goals. It's not like him. And 2 of them were absolutely brilliant goals. They gifted them one just before half-time. So I think he spoke well. And when they've had season, they responded well. And they had a disappointment losing Aston Villa. And they responded well to that. That's the test of any team. So they're under pressure. They're at the top. They've been in brilliant positions over the last few years and they've come up short. So that might be in the back of their mindset. So that's where the manager and the staff will have to look at them and say, look, lads, keep calm. But when they are playing, and again, particularly the last 3 league games, it has looked a bit predictable.
It's all how teams set up against them, though. As you look at United today, they was in a low block at times, and they find it very difficult. Like Gary says, the recycling the ball and can't find that killer pass.
But they've scored 2 goals at home. Like, if you score 2 goals at home and you're top of the league or you're one of the top teams, you still think two goals at home would be good enough to certainly get you a draw, and most times a win. When we were at United, we were trying to go for league titles. The second half of the season, the manager used to always say to us, lads, you get 2 goals a game, you'll win the league. Because you're going to be pretty decent at the back. You're going to dominate the position.
Just can't panic though, can they? They're the top of the league. We're talking about they've just given away massively. The 4 points still ahead. Yes, the psychological battle is
United was a
very
dangerous
important.
game from today. It was I smelt it before the game today. United were always going to cause Arsenal problems.
Everyone talked about the fact that Arsenal needed a number 9 to get over the line this season after 3 seasons finishing runner-up, and it hasn't really played out like that in terms of the numbers that have been produced across the season so far. The top scorers list has Gyökeres on 5. This is just the league. Trossard on 5, but own goals actually is the joint third top scorer. Again, Patrick, is that something that Arsenal don't need to worry about at this stage? Or would you expect 2 or 3 to burst from that pack and put the numbers on the board to get Arsenal over the line?
I don't think you need to be worried. Of course, it's a concern because you want your number 9 to score goals to be like 2 figures. And that's not the case. And it is the concern. But you're still in the top of the league. So if you're in the top of the league, that means you're doing something good. So there's a collective game, and I think it's quite interesting to see so many other players with 4 goals, 5 goals. What they need, I think, it's how you can create for your number 9, how you can put your number 9 in a better position to create those chances and to score goals. By doing that is maybe to put more the ball inside the box. Sometimes I felt that, like Gary mentioned early on, they try to recycle the ball. And if you have this kind of physical presence, you need to put the balls inside the box because you never know. You can score against, like an own goal you score today. But I think they need to have more people inside the box. You need to put more the balls inside the box, especially when you're in the last 30 yards.
The positive for Arsenal is that people have won the title before without having a 20-goal striker, which a lot of people always think you do need. But it's not the case. The team that won it after Arsenal's last title was Chelsea, 0-4-5, and Frank Lampard top scored for them with 13. 3 of those were penalties. Gundogan, when City won the title in 2021 with 13. And so the list goes on, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, look, it can happen where you can get contributions from many different areas and you can get 8s and 10s from others from midfield. The one thing I would say about Arsenal being a striker, and it's similar sometimes with City when you watch Haaland, although he does get the goals to go with it, as Patrick's just said, you can't really picture what type of pass or cross Arsenal players play into the box that often. You know, with City back in the day, it used to be that De Bruyne and Silva would get to the byline and they'd get those pullbacks in and you'd see those types of goals that would be scored. With Arsenal at the moment, unless Saka comes in, you know, with a dribble and then he maybe just dinks one, I can't really see another picture of how you score goals, a lot of goals in this team, because other than set pieces, that's the only time really where you see balls getting put into the box directly.
I think Arsenal are a little bit too deep tactically. So when they lose a ball, Saka and Martinelli or Trossard go really deep, and then when they try to go on the transition, Man United, especially today, are allowed to get back into positions. So you go to the wing, Saka's getting doubled up, you go over the other side, Trossard, and everything's moving too slow. You're looking for that intricate pass right over the top. And it's just not, they're all set. You can talk about Arsenal all you want, but United actually defended really well. If you want to get the ball from back to front, they've got to do it a lot quicker. As soon as Arsenal look the ball, there's many occasions today when there was too deep. As soon as they get the ball, then having to fight the way to get the ball forward. Everything was just a little bit too slow.
It was a nervous performance from them. Look at the first goal they gave away. Centre half pinging into someone who's usually comfortable on the ball. And there was that nervous tension in the stadium. The closer you get towards the end of the season, that'll just get worse. So at this moment in time, and going back to the Liverpool game as well, they're not dealing with that very well. You talk about getting strikers. Haaland's got 20, but I'd rather be in Arsenal position at the top of the table and be 4 or 5 points clear. Absolutely. But it's also a case of don't panic. If you look at the table and what Arsenal players have done and where they're heading towards and all the other competitions they're in, but when you're home and there's that expectation and your Man United are coming to town, deal with it. And they didn't deal with that expectation and pressure today.
We are hopping channels. You can continue with this in that Arsenal dressing room, no doubt. But yes, they are still top of the table. They've got a 4-point cushion on Manchester City and Aston Villa, even after going 3 without a victory. He said stick together, I think, several times, Patrick, in that interview. Beyond that, what do Arsenal need to do now?
They still to go back to the basics. Play with freedom and express themselves and going forward. I think the strength of this team is to create chances and to score goals, especially when they're at home. They are quite really aggressive with the ball. Some of the players need to perform as well as their best. I think there was too many players who didn't perform today. There was a must-win games for them because it was important to send the message to say that we want to win, and our performance show and send a message to the rest of the teams in the league.
Who didn't perform, Patrick, do you think?
I think Saka was too quiet. I think he's one of the, if not the best offensive players, and big games like that, you expect him to take the team and to perform. Trossard is an important player as well, but he didn't perform. Up front, I think Jesus ran a lot, spent a lot of energy, but you want him to be more focused and to be more inside the box. In the midfield, I think the only one was Declan Rice. You can see that he's winning balls, winning the 1v1. He brings a lot of energy, but there were too many players who play below their level, and when he's against United, it became really difficult to get a result.
Can I share one about Odegaard? I love him as a player. I love watching him. I love his touch, his technique, all those things. But sometimes he comes and gets the ball on the opposite side of the line. So instead of this side, in the pocket, between the lines, defensive and midfield, he's dropping a little bit too deep, playing a little bit safe. Is that fair?
I think it's fair. I think Odegaard is one of the technical leader of the team because of his technical ability and his vision and the quality of the last pass. I would like to see him a little bit more higher, to play more in between the lines and to receive the ball more in between the lines and to try to make his first touch going forward. I think at times he plays a little bit too safe. He's coming too close to the back four. And I think you need those kind of creativity more higher on the pitch and to be more between the opposite line.
We're just really getting started in terms of our
Actually, what happened this afternoon?
Yeah, it wasn't good enough from us. It's hard to tell exactly now. We need some time to analyze it, but yeah, it wasn't good enough, the performance, and should have done better. But now it's time to stick together even more and to just keep working, keep being together and bounce back.
Up until 1-0 though, the performance did seem good enough. Would you agree with that? And if so, what happened from that point on?
Yeah, the first half, I think we were the better team. We scored a goal and had control of the game, but we had a lot of giveaways in the game that created a few dangerous moments. And then second half, I think the momentum changed a bit. We managed to get the 2-2 there, and then could have pushed on to win it, but then they scored straight away. So yeah, overall not good enough from us. But as I said, time to stick together, time to work even harder and push each other even more and bounce back.
I know you've not had long, but what have you said amongst yourselves?
Yeah, just what I said now. Now is the time to be together. It was never going to be easy in this league, and we know that. And now is the time to be really strong and together and keep working and just bounce back straight away.
Did today, within the changing room, on the pitch, from the stands as well, did it feel tense? Did it feel nervous? And was that an explanation for the performance not being good enough?
No, I didn't think so. I thought we were well prepared for the game. We started the game strong, as we talked about, and then second half the momentum changed a bit, and they have quality players, so I don't think that was a factor, but the performance definitely should have been better from us, and we have to look at that and make sure we take the lessons and, as I said, really stick together now and keep working and bounce back.
When you say the performance should have been better, not good enough, in what ways would you say?
I think first half especially we had a lot of giveaways that gave them some dangerous counters, and we know the quality they have, when they get the space to run. In the second half I think there was a lot of duels that they won and gave them the momentum of the game and let them run and let them attack us, and we never really managed to get into that rhythm, of creating chances, creating attacks and getting that momentum, so I think there's a lot of factors in the game, but yeah, definitely that's a few of them.
Is how you react to this now going to be absolutely massive for your season?
Yeah, definitely. As I said, it was never going to be easy, and we know that in this league every game is a big challenge and a big test, and this is also part of football, and as I said, now it's time to really be together and to work harder than ever, and we're still top of the league, so yeah, we have to keep going, and as I said, bounce back straight away. That's the only medicine.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you.